I actually like the old ones, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie, I like the old ones.
We all like the old ones.
They're a bit slippery for you now.
I think the colors are nice, but it's just
the color are nicer. Yeah,
they feel cheap to me. These like just
raise.
This is like what you get at Target. You know, you go get a chipset.
What's Andy gonna do? You know,
I can't.
How's he gonna stack these?
I can't
watch it like you're not going over that 200 mark. You know, it's hard.
Dude, towers.
Yeah.
5.
I was just thinking that when I was coming. I was like,
This your first time with the chips, or?
Yeah, first time playing with these chips.
So Punnat coming in for a raise, 150. Yoh Viral pumping it up to 500.
Pink ones are just overpowering.
Turquoise and
Ace King, Ace Queen. And I see some more money going in. Punnat playing out of position against an aggressive opponent. He's definitely going to want to put his foot down when he's got a hand as pretty as this one.
2,000. Re-raise.
Picking the chunky sizing, playing this deep. $2,000 for Yoh to continue in position. He's got a dominated offsuit queen with an ace in it, so any ace high boards will spell danger for Yoh's stack.
10 seconds.
And Yoh gonna speculate in position. 4,000 in the middle, 22,000 behind. And an ace high board. Danger, danger, danger. Yoh Viral. Flopping top pair, but second best to top from Punnat. Yoh's got the superior backdoor flush draw.
They're gonna let people sit in here and watch if they want to.
No, we can send you go to 10 seconds.
1,400.
1,400.
This is the movie, studio, yeah.
$1 million. How you doing?
So 1/3 the size of the pot, and
They invited somebody to come and watch today, but they couldn't come, luckily. Otherwise, they'd been never to sit.
for Yoh Viral, it doesn't get much better than this. Flopping top pair, second best kicker in position, so he's not going anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
The 7 pairs on the turn, 7,000 in the middle. I wouldn't be surprised if Punnat tries to get all the money in here by the end.
10 seconds.
$3,600.
36.
And Yoh proceeding with a call. River 9, that might be a bit of an action killer for Punnat. He's sitting with just over a pot-sized bet left in his stack, and not the worst run out in the world, but certainly far from the best. Let's defer to the Super Pro and see what sizing he wants to use on this river.
$11,000.
11,000.
11,000 on the river. And this is what separates these super high rollers from your regular 2-5 grinders. You see that run out where the 7 pairs and the 9 pairs And he's still going for a nearly pot-sized bet, targeting the exact hand that Yoh Viral has. Ace Queen, Ace Jack, Ace 10.
Unchip.
Punnat understands it's far more likely for Yoh to arrive on this river with an ace as opposed to a 9, especially when the 9 of diamonds is accounted for, making it far less likely for him to arrive with that specific combo. And so Yoh's got to put in $11,000 to win $25,000 back. And a miserable spot here. And this is the danger in calling a 4-bet with ace queen offsuit.
One green. That's it.
What do you guys think? Put a 1 in the chat if you think Yoh's going to flick in the call. Put a 2 in the chat if you think Yoh's going to find the hero fold.
Ouais, bien sûr, bien sûr. On peut faire maintenant, vas-y, pas de problème.
Yoh not losing to a bunch of hands right now. He's only losing to ace king,
Avec plaisir.
ace 9, and ace 7 suited, and it's pretty difficult for Punnat to arrive at this spot with one of those 2 combos I had listed. He also obviously loses to pocket aces, pocket 9s, pocket 7s, but echoing the sentiment I had just mentioned, how frequently is he going to be 4-betting pocket 9s or pocket 7s in that tight configuration we saw pre-flop? But what kind of bluffs can he have? It's tough to find them, but Yoh getting too good of a price pays it off, and Punnat extracting max value, dragging in this $36,000 pot. Extremely well played hand from him, and that's what separates the men from the boys. The next one.
150.
I opened up pocket kings under the gun, got a few callers. The flop came deuce 3 7. I bet he called the accountant, put in a raise, and so I decided to put in a 3-bet. I had 3-bet a lot of aggressive board textures, both for value and as bluffs during that day, so I felt like I could generate a little more value on that side with my premiums in that situation. Yoh decided just to flat, and the accountant got out of the way.
3 players.
The turn went check, check, and on the river I bet about $3,000 into a pot of $7,000. Yoh ripped it all in for about $10,000 more, and in a vacuum, I think it's a pretty straightforward fold, as we see a couple of players clashing here. Punnat with the nut straight, Dr. H with a straight draw, backdoor flush draw, and Dr. H drawing to only that backdoor flush draw and some chopportunities, putting in a bet, and Punnat deciding just to call.
Heads up.
Todd bouncing out of the way with his pocket 6s. H assembling a big bet, nearly the size of the pot.
21-25.
And Punnat has to decide if he wants to put more money in here or just flat and let Dr. H barrel off. Dr. H turning a really bad card for him, optically extremely good. He turns a double gutter now. Or excuse me, it doesn't affect his hand whatsoever.
10 seconds.
So Punnat sitting with the stone cold nuts.
Raise. 7,800.
7,800 to go. Really trying to cooler top of Dr. H's range. Hands like Ace Jack, Ace 10, Jack 10. As well as Ace of Hearts X-type combos that has some good showdown value and a nice draw to continue with. But Punnat with these stone cold nuts.
10 seconds.
And Dr. H drawing just to a chop.
Time chip.
And a bunch of time chips being thrown in the pot here.
Can we turn down the volume on that? It's kind of disturbing.
Yeah, I never heard that request before because of how infrequently time chips have been used. We're only about 45 minutes into the stream and a few players running nearly dry on their time chips.
The dramatics.
It's a little much.
Dr. H in a tough spot now. He's got to put in a chunk of change more. Maybe he's considering peeling here and
pretty much
repping
everywhere
hearts
in
if
LA.
they come in on this river, but
Private games, yeah. All the casinos. Wherever there's a game, they show up, you know.
an 8 on the end,
I
if
basically
Dr.
just
H
didn't do anything
continues,
for
will
about 10
spell
years. I just play poker every single day.
detriment to the rest of his stack. He's not going anywhere.
78.
What about you? A lot of poker. Where you play? So. Okay. Have we played together before? Outside of here? No. Okay. You look very familiar.
4 of diamonds on the river. Nothing changes whatsoever. He had the nuts on the flop, he had the nuts on the turn, and he still has the nuts on the river. And I think we're going to hear a couple of magic words coming up in the near future.
I have a lot of fond memories of the old place. I like the new place though. It's very nice. Very nice.
10 seconds.
All in. They close the way.
And Punnat rips it in. Dr. H sitting with queen high, nothing.
Oh man, yeah.
And obviously it's easy for us to see that it would be better for Punnat to allow Dr. H to bluff off this river with his exact hand, but I think that's the only play there. You would hate to check it over and see Dr. H check back a hand like Ace 9 of Hearts, for example,
We're due for a collection.
Jack 10.
So
Even more with champagne, I think. Yeah, already the case before champagne. So
Do they have champomy here or something?
champagne.
Champagne for kids.
For LPs, champagne.
I want champagne
In
for
France,
kids.
we have champagne without alcohol.
Do they have no
It's called champagne.
Kids champagne. Kids champagne.
Oh, champagne for kids.
For LPs.
Champagne for kids. Yeah. I can't drink alcohol anymore. Oh, thank you. Congratulations.
Okay.
Thank you, doctor.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna make a story.
raise. 12.25.
Yes.
Down or
What the fuck, Andy? I'm like distracted and you guys. So rude, bro. Punnat is gonna punish you.
And Punnat,
Punish him. Punish him.
who's been running quite well, is going to wake up with
you know.
2
Yeah,
kings, and
yeah,
here
yeah,
comes a 4-bet. And we can see some interesting stuff about to transpire since Punnat and Andy are playing effectively 500 big blinds deep.
Yeah, he's gone. All right, doctor.
Cheers, Dr. H. Thank you.
Cheers. Thank you. Cheers, you guys.
Trying to hold it together at the
I
tables.
can't drink, but
Cheersing. He's just thinking about his pocket kings. Andy not going anywhere. As the action gets back to him.
I would have 5 bets,
couple
but
of
I need to
king
make a story
crackers.
of this. So. I'm sorry, guys.
Very low
Story.
4-bet fold frequency from Andy once he's getting a very good price.
I told her. I also
Andy knows that Punnat's range looks pretty strong with some polarized suited connects.
Definitely me paying the champagne.
Thank you, yo.
Cheers. Ludo.
Wow, Andy's grabbing, raising
Crazy
chips.
game. Woo!
Cheers.
So now I will not.
French game, Dr. H. French game. Champagne game.
I wonder how
Four
much
bet pot.
that was a
Four bet
threat
pot
so
over
he
there.
could see a
No
turn
champagne.
for free. Queen 10-6. Andy with
Nice,
the pair.
nice.
So when Andy grabs chips like that, threatening
Bien
a
sûr.
4-bet,
Bien sûr.
I wonder
plaisir.
if he's trying to send the message that he does have something like, let's say, nines through queens with some ace kings, threatening for check raise to see turns. That's what makes sense to me. I can be completely off, and Punnat's going to bet 2,300. And Andy, getting the right price mathematically if these hands were face up, is going to make the call. Turn is an ace. If you're Punnat, right guy, are you going to ever put a block bet or go for some value or just simply check it back?
I think Andy's hand contains a lot of hands that beat yours at this point. And it would suck if you put in a small bet and get faced with a raise, get blown off your equity, drawing to a jack, typically drawing to a king as well. So I think the more standard approach is to check it back.
And we see Punnat do that, and now Andy does not beat much in a 4-bet pot.
It's called Bootsy.
If Andy does put Punnat on kings, how often
it was.
does he go for it here?
It was really nice. We had
The 4-bet hands that he gets crushed by are something like aces and queens, and Andy doesn't go for it. $11,050 pot shift over to Punnat.
It was his idea.
And Andy shakes his head. He says, story checks out.
Story checks out for sure, and I saw a world of possibilities on that flop. The queen 10 brick board. You got some backdoor flush draws. You
I forgot how old I was for a second.
Okay, how old are you? Curious.
Pretty old, man.
I figured because I know you've been playing forever too.
41.
41? Okay. I'm just a little bit younger than you. Up there, dude.
How about you?
39.
Raise 175.
This goes downhill from here, man. It's downhill. How old are you? 39.
And you?
29. 29?
Can we not talk about age? Since long time ago.
Let's not talk
41?
about age, alright?
Okay.
Long time ago.
Age is on the state of mind, bro.
In front of me, you don't talk about age.
So Dr. H dominating two of his opponents, meaning that anytime he hits top pair, one of the other players will have an inferior top pair, and Ludo doesn't get much better than that.
Almost 60?
Top pair, nut flush draw, but he happened to run in to top and bottom pair from AJ, and we could see liftoff here. Neither player
When I'm 60,
shown the propensity to shy away from confrontation.
Hey, can you imagine? Of course, I played poker before, but seriously, I started to learn only recently.
And with top pair and the nut flush draw against top and bottom, I could certainly see fireworks on this one. So Dr. H leading into the field, getting called in two spots. Now AJ just picking out a size to raise it to. You can't let all these players see the turn for free. And a chunky sizing, I like it. Targeting hands like inferior flush draws as well as the exact hand that Ludo has. Ludo never folding here. It's just a question of if he wants to put in more money. Dr. H peeling with just a gutter ball. He's got that king of hearts blocker, so maybe, just maybe, he considers turning his hand into a bluff if that heart comes through. Ludo with a world full of opportunities. You are never dead. And maybe you can get an inferior flush draw to call off if you put all the money in here. AJ's only got about 8,800 back. Ludo has one of those hands that can really put a hand like ace king, ace queen, ace 10 in the blender, merging between value and bluffing. If you were to rip it in here, those kind of hands would be in a miserable spot. And you probably get it through that kind of a range. And you know you're never in really bad shape Unfortunately for him here, he ran his top and bottom, but I could see all options on the table right now.
7,000.
Raise. 7,000.
And aggression coming through.
We'll see.
Dr. H c-betting, Ludo calling. AJ coming through with a raise. Dr. H calling in between, and now Ludo putting in the flop 3-bet with his top pair nut flush draw, and this is what I was talking about.
All in.
AJ put into the blender, but his hand is too strong to fold. Dr. H, nothing to do now but hand his cards back to the dealer, and Ludo is going to snap it off when it gets to him. Ladies and gentlemen, we have liftoff.
Eight, 9, 9.5, 10,300.
Let's see what you have. Sorry.
I started the hand with 15 or 16.
And so Dr. H considering to gamble it up with these guys.
10,300.
I have about 9 behind.
10 seconds.
A bit less than 9. 2, 4, 6, 7. I call. You want to do once or twice?
I like twice, whatever you want.
Okay, twice.
And so they'll run it twice.
Okay, we have jacks or ace jack?
Running it twice.
I have top pair.
Here we
Pair?
go.
I have two pair.
Yeah, I figure you have a set or something.
Yeah. Well, I was like, I don't know.
That's
So Ludo gonna scoop in the first one, unless the board pairs with an ace or a 6 on the river.
6.
And king, no help to AJ. Getting his money in at a 60% favorite. Ludo's gonna take down the first board with his nut flush.
Don't do it.
And Queen of Hearts right away on the turn.
Good game.
So heartbreak for AJ. Getting his money in as a favorite, but Ludo hard on the first board, hard on the second board, and the man with the biggest heart in the building
Good game, bro.
is about to exit the playing field. GG AJ. And Ludo stacking him.
behind and hit twice. Sick.
So sick. Listen, Ludo.